Alright guys, looks like we're getting into the game here again, having those connectivity issues unfortunately. Not really much I can do about that. Again, I was sort of checking with the other streams, it seems like they are having the same issues. Very quickly getting us into things, just going to hit the old execute to get rid of all this kerfuffle on the screen. I am of course Scrib, this is of course Endpoint TV. We are here to watch some good Counter-Strike, hopefully. A little bit of a heartbreaking loss for Endpoint on the first map, 16-7 on Train. It was XPC's pick, however, so you kind of expect them to take that in this situation. And Endpoint, it would seem here, off to a reasonably good start. They win the pistol, they win the conversion round after it, and now they are looking to take this one as well. And they should very easily be able to do so. Only lost one player so far. White now the only one remaining for the CT side of things. He's on A. The bomb appears to be going B. So, there you go. I think he's just trying to see if he can recover this rifle that was dropped earlier on by Aaron. But unfortunately for him, he won't be able to do so. Mighty Max with a nice little 3k, loving the eco frags. Bit of stat padding going on. That's another thing as well, right? So they don't give them one server. Or at least they don't give us one server on CEVO. Whereas, again, pretty much everyone else at this point in time, you know, you have a best of 3, it's all on one server. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, going to be getting into the first gun round here. Not a great buy coming in from the CT side. Very aggressive towards middle, and the server's gone down again. Thankfully, it would seem we are back in to the game, and Endpoint taking it by storm, so it would seem. They did lose that first rifle round initially, but able to kind of win the subsequent round after that, and then pick up, as you can see, the round there. So it's 5-1 now. Going to be a full eco coming in from the XPC side, so you would expect them to get a 6th on the board as well. Doing my best to keep my composure here, boys. Stay calm. Stay classy. Professional, all that good stuff. You know, all those buzzwords. But it's getting harder and harder. If we go to a third and we're still having these issues, it will be very sad. And now also, I think as well, this looks like the tick rate's gone down, so it looks terrible. In terms of like lagging a little bit. So that's cool, but I think we'll take the action of the game at the moment. Those are missing that shot on middle, but of course being up against these pistols, seemingly learning their mistakes from the previous round as well, previous game rather. Not getting too aggressive, just taking things nice and slow, going in together, easily able to clear out this B-bomb site. That's a little bit of insight coming in. Jacob. It's Jakem, innit? That he normally goes by, I thought. I mean, you guys probably know these players a little bit more personally than I do, but... The coach, so I'm aware. I think. I mean, I read it in chat, so I really hope that's right, but... you know. But ultimately, like I say, back in the game, we can be happy with that. Just coming in on short, but a quick hit towards middle. Sexy really recovers well, though, as he picks up 2. Will eventually get traded back by Aaron, so it's into a 2-on-2. Very quick action over towards A. A lot of pressure on mid from both teams. In a way, works out in favour of Endpoint, as they are able to get this bomb down before the rotations come in. You've got Luzzer on half HP, but not too much of an issue. No kit as well for the CT side. Quite a key round that they need to take here. This half really starting to run away with them. From them, rather. And Luzzer picking up that kill onto He makes it a hell of a lot easier. Cement will drop Aaron, his teammate. The P250 is out. A slight tag coming in on both of these players, but the head is found. Quick little flick from Luzzer. Cement goes down, a 7th on the board for Endpoint, and they are looking dominating. Don't seem to have been knocked in terms of confidence on that first map. Coming alive here on their own pick. So maybe, mentally, they went into train sort of thinking, We'll do our best, but it's going to be difficult to take the victory here. But Inferno, we know we can win that one. Should be another easy round on the board. I am just going to... I believe there's some commands you can use. The big man Adam. I don't know if he's watching, but I think some of you might know him. Right. He gave me some commands the other day that were very, very useful for CSGO. I think they're all already going to be turned off. I don't think they will have reset. Yeah. These are all the ones that he's gave me. So, like literally those 3 commands there and what they're set to is what he sent me on Twitter the other week. I was just hoping maybe that could sort our issue in terms of the frames and stuff, but unfortunately not. Mighty Max has gone down. Torek very quickly getting traded. That could be costly though. Weber loses the bomb second mid. Sexy with the CZ. One opportunity maybe to get another kill here. Luzzer not quite landing his shots. Pulse is on 12 HP. Oh no, not like this. The bomb going to get dropped again. Sexy's only got 2 bullets. He's going to swap to the Deagle though, and this is definitely doable as he takes down Aaron. Pulse now left on 12 HP, and this could be a monumentous mistake. As Sexy has already picked up 3. He's looking to find the 4th as well. Perhaps Pulse has outpositioned him, but if Sexy gets a little bit savvy to the fact that his apps is open, this could be timing of the century. Sexy is making a lot of noise. He's just jiggling, and he's not even going to change the angle that he's looking at and will go down. Pulse saves the round. Sexy was not ready for Pulse to have been able to rotate around. Also gets the AWP back, but oh my goodness, almost a huge blunder. Pause coming in, I would think. Tactical pause from Endpoint. That's one thing CSGO do well. They tell you who the pause is for. Face it, do that. ESCA don't do that. The more you know. At least on the GoTV. I don't know if that's the case in-game. But, you know. In the UK scene, Endpoint, pretty big org. Had a lot of good players move through and have a lot of good players now as well. So definitely not no-namers. But it's like, who knows, if you're... Right, just give me a sec. Just give me a sec. I need to make sure. Just need to... Okay, yeah. So if you're Romanian, then maybe you know XPC as a team or an organisation as being quite old. But for me, and I think for a lot of people watching this stream right now, they're a very new name as well. I won't say Smoo is the only good player. That's definitely not true. You know, you have a lot of good UK players on kind of international teams. Obviously, you got Def in America. Surreal for a little time was over there as well. Though I don't know, man, that complexity team is so up and down. It's unreal. Even within like their own tier 2 of NA, they're so kind of up and down in my... But you never really see them do anything brilliant, do you know what I mean? They're kind of very middling. Sometimes they can put up some good numbers against really big teams. There are three players on Epsilon who are from the UK, basically, put it that way. If you're into Smooyer, obviously you'll be watching a lot of Epsilon games. So... And I think Surreal is brilliant as well. And Robin may as well be a UK player at this point in time. Oh, Weber going to get caught out throwing the flashbangs by Torek in Boiler. Brings us back into a 4-on-4 now. It looks like they want to make moves towards B as well. Got the AWP in the hands of Luzzer. Aaron and Pulse are so low right now. Got to act quickly. They've got the smokes in towards Coffins. Smokes in towards CT, but the double spray down coming in from Pipson. Mighty Max able to trade one back, but White gets aggressive through the smoke in the chaos. And will also manage to pick the kill. Going for the fake here, Mighty Max will be able to pick up the kill onto White, but unfortunately could not quite get the kill fast enough, so he's just going to have to save the AWP. And I think at this point, not a bad result. XPC get a second round on the board, but you can kind of argue that this one here is a little bit more important because they don't want to get themselves reset. Of course, I've also got the UMP in the hands of Cement, so their weaponry not really ideal going forward, only surviving with 2 players in the previous round. opportunity for Endpoint, honestly, to really run away with this half. Get their hands on double digits if they can take this round. Get the reset in, like I say, onto XPC. Crack angle being held by Sexy. Mighty Max deals back a fair amount of damage as well. Spray through the smoke does a little bit of damage to Pulse, but not really much in the grand scheme of things. Minute remaining on the clock. The CT utility is pretty much all expended. There's a number of smokes remaining for the T side, so they could definitely block out a few of those positions. A couple of Molotovs as well. So it kind of looks good for them to set themselves up into a good position to take the A-bomb side. But they've still got 3 players to deal with. They've only got 40 seconds as well. As soon as there's any sign of an execute, the rotates are going to come in. And in fact, they're coming in a little bit earlier because you've got Cement pushed up aggressively in Banana. So that has allowed Pipson to rotate around. Taking control over towards long though. White will go down. Pipson is rotating across to Library. And setting up a nice little crossfire with Toric as well. That's going to drop the bomb. There's only 17 seconds remaining. Pipson through the smoke. Will come through and pick up one. You've got Weber on 1 HP and he will go down. So they avoid the reset on the XPC side. Endpoint still got a fair buffer of rounds, but this is something that I kind of mentioned in the chat, in all honesty, when we were in between games. It seemed, you know, Endpoint on a round-by-round basis on Train, there were certainly a few rounds where they got the advantage, but then just got a little bit complacent, a little bit overzealous in some of the situations, and just lost control of the rounds and ended up losing a lot of them as well, which is why they kind of, I wouldn't say they got demolished, but, you know, lost by a fair margin. Might just be seeing a little bit of that here, because despite having so many rounds above that XPC scoreline, not really got a hell of a lot of money coming in. Mighty Max trying to find something on the A-bomb site will get taken down by Toric. Now into a 4-on-3. Aaron's just got a Glock. There's a player in the form of Luzzer with armor. Smoke going in to allow Cement to only pick up one, actually, but you've got Pipson behind the pillar. Such a influential position. He will get taken down, however. So only trading 1 for 1 will allow the bomb, or 2 for 2, I suppose, will allow the bomb to go down. Now, 3-on-2 situation. No armor for either of these players, so the aim punch is going to be huge. But AK in the hands of Weber, you still got that one-tap potential. Flash coming in. Blinds up both the players, in fact. Fair amount of damage being done onto them, but now the position is coming, especially of Weber. He will pick up White, however. Remaining 2 players coming from the same angle. Not very much time remaining either. Also going to find the head of Sexy, and Weber will find Toric. So against all the odds, Endpoint seemed to win that round off the back of a 4K. The big man Weber. 9th round on the board. Sort of a quasi-reset onto that economy coming in, so it's going to be a force buy from the XPC side, but have 2 players on pistols, and the best weaponry I think you're going to have here is a FAMAS, so looking difficult for XPC to have a good showing. It seems the T side for Endpoint is really firing on all cylinders, hell of a lot better than it was on the Train. They look a lot more comfortable here on Inferno. Oh, nice little flick from Luzzer. So I was just having a bit of a read through the chat. Finds Toric. Get himself that man advantage, of course. But again, like I say, it should be a round that you expect Endpoint to take. Get 10 on the board. Maybe even 11, 12 for the half. On the cards, definitely. Looking like they want to make their way towards B. The rotate's going to come in almost immediately from the CT side as soon as there's any showing of terrorist presence. Have to be careful through this smoke as the UMP comes storming in, and 3 kills for White, 2 for Cement. What a round! As White with the triple kill with that UMP, that flashbang absolutely devastating Endpoint. So they fly on through the smoke. Just find easy kills. Not around you would expect them to take, but they kind of make those risky plays, off-the-cuff plays, you know, that you kind of can when you're in that economic situation. There's a painful one. For Endpoint to be losing. They've gone for the buy up here. They've got 3 AKs out. Also going to find the AWP in the hands of White and drop it. Does get traded back by Toric, and Mighty Max is going to go down as well. So it's a 4-on-3 now. Lineup coming in from Weber. Smoke over towards, I want to say Arch. Looks like it certainly is, sir. No, actually, just a long smoke. Okay. Loads of lineups for that you can do, really. It all kind of depends on what you prefer. That's quite a deep one as well. This is a bit more of like a corner smoke than just a straight up long smoke. Gives you full control of middle, so perhaps one of the more effective ones that you can pull out for short. Still got a few more kills to find. Toric will go down, was only on 19 HP earlier. On the edge of the hay bale, Sexy will find Aaron. Gets a dink in return for his trouble. Molotov going to melt Pulse down to 50 HP, and now it's a 3-on-2 situation. Only 35 seconds remaining. They seem to have an idea of where these players are coming from. Pipson on the site. Sexy in the pit, as well as the second line of defense. But it looks like he's not even going to be needed, as Pipson picks up both. So XPC able to get a second round again in a row, not get themselves reset. So a little bit of a mini recovery for them in this second half, in this first half. So it looks a little bit simpler for them going into the second half. Now a question of whether Endpoint are able to get themselves to double digits, or XPC ease the burden going into that second half. Five CZs though. I think in the current state of CSGO, they should take this round easily. No, of course. Just a prank. It's Pipson, Toric pick up 2 quick kills for their team, making a 5-on-3 situation. The lesser weaponry, up close and personal, is a lot easier, I suppose, for Endpoint with the power of the CZ at the moment. So they could get something done on Banana if these two players opt to keep getting aggressive. Just depend. They've got a Molotov in the hands of Weber. Max goes down with that nade, and now it's just on Weber. And he will go down, so a nice clean round to finish us off from XPC. 9-6. It all depends going into the second half. You know, if Endpoint have a decent CT side as well as a decent T side, they can definitely take this one. But if XPC are able to, you know, keep the aggression on their T side like they did on Train, it could be very, very hard indeed to deal with the plow that can often occur on the terror side. I think now that VP kind of fallen off the map in terms of being one of the top teams, you know, because it was always the Virtus plow on the T side. But I think now it's probably just a term we could use for any team that has a good T side, you know, the plow. Because I like it, it's a nice word, it rolls off the tongue, and it describes it perfectly, to be honest. Kitting 2 flashbangs for Mighty Max. Sort of spot towards second mid, see if that's where they're going, as a lot of terrorists do tend to go for that sort of play. Smoke on the right side of middle, looks like they might be trying to go for a wrap here. It's going to be Weber to deal with them. First port of call, only able to get one, gets immediately traded back. Pulse holding the off angle will get taken down by Sexy as well. The power of those sprinting Glocks cannot be denied for sure. It's difficult to rotate this as well, as you've got Toric holding that CT position. Got Aaron on the site trying to get something done, not really able to do much. A little bit of damage does connect. Pipson as well finds Luzzer. And this pistol's so one-sided at the moment. You do have Mighty Max, he's got the kit in hand. Looks like he's just going to book it and save that though going into the next round. Toric going to look to find him, as he was on that flank position. He's going to be quite close, in fact. Mighty Max not expecting him at all. And he will get taken down, so... Pretty good pistol from XPC. Like I say, though, I mean, that's... it's one of those strategies that... Oh, for crying out loud! I'll finish making my point. It's one of those strategies that you kind of expect from the T side, but if you're not... A little bit annoying, you don't miss too much of the action. It's actually a little bit delayed, as you can see as well, so we kind of already know the future in this one. As Aaron seems to got his hands on a UMP, perhaps saved it from the previous round, as well, perhaps saving that deagle. Aaron going to go down. Luzzer immediately retrieves that UMP back. Bit of an off angle from Torek, though. It's pretty nice. Quite hard to deal with on that kind of second balcony. Sumin going to catch Mighty Max with his pants down. Mac 10 not quite able to connect for White as he will go down, so keeping that economic pressure on as they always must do. Okay. Okay, can you give me my hood? Sexy, though, picks up the final 2 kills. So, very quickly, we're going to be getting into round number 19. As all to play for at this point in time. 9-9. This first gun round really going to make a difference, I would have thought. Going into things, as it will hopefully shape up to be a pretty competitive game. Hopefully touch all the wood in the world again. That seemed to work last time. We won't be having any more technical issues. Molotov comes in, going to push them out of position with that UMP, but he does not care as he finds Pulse. Weber as well, completely blinded up, gets taken down by Sexy. So the B bomb site now is going to be open. Quick rotate is coming in from Luzzer with that ult, but he's going to get smoked out pretty much immediately. And Torek on the flank, as always, finds one, finds two as well. And I think that might just be the final nail in the coffin for this round. Luzzer able to pick up the first kill for his team, but Sexy is close behind, tags him up, leaves him on 2 HP and cannot connect the pistol shots. That is painful. But a decisive round from XPC in our first gun round, and Endpoint seem to have the T side down for the most part, but their CT side somewhat kind of lacking in terms of crossfires, in terms of playing off of each other. There's a lot of kind of solo mentality a little bit when they get behind or they start looking a bit weak. They'll just start playing their own game and not really playing together as a team, which obviously on the CT side is a hell of a lot more important, I think, on the T side. It's important on both sides at this level, don't get me wrong. But I need the team to be firing on all cylinders. The CT side things for sure. Because you can kind of see, I suppose, if we bring up the scoreboard, you can kind of see even now, you got Sexy, you got Torek, who are a little kind of way above the rest of the team, especially Sexy, 21 to 11. He could easily carry this one through. And Nico around nice and slowly. Molotov towards Cubby, not actually going to do a hell of a lot of damage or even pick up the kill. Mighty Max finds Torek up on the boost, as he seems to be enjoying his weird positions. Cement, however, going to pick up 2. Mighty Max finds another with the CZ. Cement's left on 19 HP, so it's a 3-on-3, but certainly a doable one. But a beautiful flip from White. Might just put a stop to that, because now these 2 rotating players from the B bomb site blocked out by a simple smoke. Gonna try and boost over it, it would seem. Ooh, not quite able to line up, unfortunately, and now I think that will be all she wrote as White takes down Pulse. It's just going to be on Weber and some easy kills. And that just kind of explains it there. Pipson, you see that stat, has lasted the past 7 rounds without dying. And that's kind of the story of what's going on at this point in time. You know, it's difficult for Endpoint to just pick up the initial frags, and they just lose too many players too quickly and lose control of bomb sites and just cannot retake it. So Kind of need to quickly iron that one out. Might be able to do so in this round. Luz has got his hands on an AWP. A reasonably good buy. If there's any... Well, a very good buy, actually, from the CT side. If there's any buy that they should be taking it on, certainly this one. Mighty Mac's going to spot out a couple players towards long hauls. Lucky to get away with his life there, in all honesty. Tagged up for a little bit of damage. That information going to come in. They're going to be prepping themselves for an A hit. So trying to make his way through the smoke. They will spot him out as it starts to dissipate. He's going to drop the bomb as well. Luzza with a nice little angle finds the head of Cement. So this is good. They get the initial frags here. 5 versus 3. They need to hold it together. Make sure not to lose any more. Rotation has come in from Weber. Also going to be burning Aaron up. There's a spam coming in through the smoke. Flash goes through, but Sexy going to find him, despite being blinded up. Oh, Luzza gets the tag onto Toric. Still, round is very, very doable indeed. You've also got kind of Pulse making sure to contain. No one can get through. Luzza going to miss that shot, though. Needs to make sure not to get too aggressive now as well. Being tagged down to 24 HP himself. And he gets blinded up. Going to get picked up by Sexy. Mighty Max will be able to trade that one back, but Toric immediately trades him back. So suddenly, after being a 5-on-3 situation, it's now a 2-on-2. Toric is on pretty low HP towards Pit. Ooh, spots out the head, though, as he gets found out. And Weber will find White with the AWP. So the rotations come into fruition, able to find the round. AWP going to be saved. Not going to go for the double AWP setup. Or are they? Are they? Maybe? Who knows? No. I don't think so. I mean, it's not really a strategy on this map. But not completely unheard of, I suppose. I think at this point in time as well, you know, it's kind of Luzza's got his AWP, the dedicated AWP has got his, and then it's a question of preference for who would be your secondary AWP. And normally, like I say, it's Mighty Max, but we saw Pulse picked up on the previous map. So, not a dedicated secondary AWP, if that makes sense. Banana pressure coming in from the T side here. Pulse going to get Molotov'd out and be aware of him playing so close, but maybe not. It's a flashbang kill for Weber. And he also gets a kill with his M4 as well. Sexy's picked one up in all that chaos, but it's going to be a 4-on-3 in favour of Endpoint. So it would seem in the past few rounds they have come together, in all fairness, in these past couple of rounds. Sure. Crouching around the corner, Luzza ready for it though, picks up White, trigger discipline to wait until he sees kind of his whole body. Toric though, ever reliable to pick up a frag, and he does onto Aaron, so he's going to cut off the rotate from CT, but unfortunately for him, Mighty Max is actually in second mid, and also he's going to get taken down just before that smoke blooms towards CT, so now it's just going to be left on Pipson. Playing reasonably well for his team. Versus 3 is still rather difficult. Luzza the only player to be known on that B-bomb site as well, so he's not ready for Weber, who will train him back. So, I mean, surviving, you know, with less than 3 players here is not great for the economy of Endpoint, but at this point in time, they need to put a stop to the XPC rampage and just get some rounds on the board. They are managing to do so. They've won the past, what, 2 in a row? Indeed. And they need to make sure keep that going at this point in time. An opportunity for them to take the lead. Again, you know, an opportunity for XPC to take the lead as well. But I think if either team loses this one, such a key round here, if either team loses this one, the economy, especially of the CT side, is going to be in absolute tatters. Slight loss bonus building up for XPC, but still not ideal. Probably would have to go for another eco force buy situation if they lose this round. So very, very important. It could be what decides the 2-0 or the 1-1 scoreline, and a fluffed smoke is not a great way to start it off from Pipson. It's meant to be a long smoke, but not quite able to pull it into fruition. Molotov's going in towards Banana at the same time to cut off any play. Pulse as well goes off the back of the flashbang and find Sexy. He was the only T over there, but at least they've secured themselves Banana control and scared off the terrorists. Those are going to drop back from middle. Allow them to have mid control on the T side of things, as you would generally expect. At this point in time, a lot of smokes have been nailed down here. Do have Pulse left on 18 HP, but he's all the way on that B bomb site, so not really going to matter here as they drop down in towards pit, push up short. Cement is going to be able to pick up that kill, but there's still Mighty Max up on the balcony. They've not quite spotted him out yet. He's going to wait for his moment to strike, and unfortunately he just gets spotted out by Torek at the last second as he was going to deny that bomb plant. 4-on-3 situation here, and it looks like the call has been made to save from Endpoint. I'm going to take that AWP into the next round, and of course the 2 M4s. So they might be able to put together some kind of a buy, but not really ideal, and XPC, like I say, and as you can obviously see, able to take the lead going into this next round. Mighty Max and Pulse kind of helping out to pick up that final kill in the end. I saw like the 4K potential, you know, the Reddit clip. Bit of a common mentality among a lot of players. You'd be surprised. MP9 in the hands of Aaron, certainly workable, and the CZ in the hands of Mighty Max, definitely workable. Current state of CSGO, they've done well to retain banana control on the CT side, in fairness. XPC have been finding it very difficult to make their way in towards B. In the hands of Luzzer still as well, could do a lot of damage. The MP9 looking to find something, but quite able to catch anyone peeking until eventually he does, and it will result in him going down. So 4 versus 5 situation. Got the rotates coming in though, so there's 3 players immediately on this A bomb site. Still got Luzzer over towards B with the AWP though, which could be massive to not have right now. Certainly looks like it is going to be A, but waiting patiently. The T's don't want to make any mistakes at all. Reset potential certainly on the card. Sexy and Cement going to open up. Mighty Max able to find one, but immediately traded back. I think that pretty much secures this round, as Luzzer is still over towards... Is he disconnected, or is he just... No, okay. I was going to say, he hadn't moved in that whole kind of rotation. That whole attack, I should say. Just kind of chilling in banana. So it will be 13 to 11. Endpoint, we're looking good, certainly on the T side, but their CT side just seems a little bit uncoordinated sometimes in these gun rounds. Obviously, that was kind of a round that you wouldn't really expect them to take in that situation, but Luzzer able to find one, but Sexy with a snappy little headshot will find him, also able to retrieve the AWP, so not able to keep the AWP going into the next round. So maybe a force up here from Endpoint. Luzzer's been doing really well for the team, actually, 20 to 16. Fortunately, it would seem not quite able to convert those high kills into round wins, whereas you got Sexy and Torek on the enemy side, who were doing really well on the CT side, transferred that to the T side, and now it's really paying off. As it would seem, possibly able to take this one 2-0. It should quite easily be a 14-11, I think, up against a few upgraded pistols. That's about it. But that is it. Honestly, you've got 2 USPs as well, so... Seen them win these rounds, though. On the Endpoint side of things. There is still hope. Perhaps. The XPC have to hand it to them. They've done quite well on their Antica rounds, just taking it really, really slowly. Recognising the economic position of Endpoint quite well. Giving them the respect. Playing it smart, playing it slow. Make sure to clear out as many angles as they possibly can, and then just use their superior weaponry to clean up shop. boost as well coming in. Gonna edge forward, I think, to be able to see over towards CT and then eventually go in towards the site. Auto Director seems fussed with Mighty Max. Kill goes back and forth. Trading 2 for 2 so far. He's not able to find anything else though, as it now will be Mighty Max and Aaron. They're all to do. Perhaps an opportunity, yeah, okay, he picked up a CZ. I was going to say to save a rifle. I thought Aaron had picked up one. But not quite able to do so, unfortunately. Just get his hands on an AK. Now he's got to escape. Mighty Max is going to go down. Aaron kind of sees that he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, so tries to pick up a few more kills, but not able to do so. So. 3k coming in from White with the AWP. Easy eco frags for him. Been a little bit quieter here, but I mean, not really had to do as much on this map. He had his one good map, gave his one good contribution, and still, you know, pulling his weight for sure, but all the same. Best buy they can possibly pull out now for Endpoint. Weber and Mighty Max demoted onto lesser weaponry, but ultimately not all bad. They've still got the Blizzard. Been playing very, very well for this Endpoint side on this map, so if he can come alive in this round, pick up a couple kills, definitely a chance they could take this one. 14-11, I think if they lose this one, it's going to probably be curtains for Endpoint. Still do have a little bit of a hill to climb as well, because T-side economy as a team, I mean, Sexy's personal economy is not great, but as a team, definitely there. They've got a couple buys, if they so choose, left in the bank. Are we going to try and block out that smoke? That could actually be huge. To be fair, he's able to play in front of it, so very clever from him. Allows Aaron to get a bit aggressive as well. 2 kills picked up now for the CT side. Pulse almost caught out, left on 3 HP. He's trying to gun it away. Looks like the bomb's going to make its way towards B as well. Sexy getting a bit aggressive, trying to recover what it can for his team. Pipson as well going to go down, so now it's left all on White with the AWP. 4-on-1 situation for him. It would appear slightly more difficult task than he had set out for. He's going to get spotted out as well. Will find Weber, but not ready for Pulse to be there. Gets taken down trying to plant the bomb. So Endpoint win that round. Keep a fair few players alive as well in the meantime. Yeah, but right, just to adjust. Sometimes I see where you're coming from with the stats thing. Sometimes, yeah, players can let it get to their head, but like, would you say, based on that, Simple is a bad player? Because I mean, he's got 6 stats, but the team just don't seem to be able to win very much. So, you know. And I think there's probably a case to be made for the opposite in Simple's case. So sometimes yes, but other times no. You can have as many impact frags as possible, but then, you know, when you've got team, like, let's say on average you get 2 kills a round for the entire game. There's a great stats. And Luzzer as well, proven here why he is kind of firing on all cylinders right now for his team. Right, okay. Yeah, I suppose I can see that. I can see that. People who care about stat padding, I suppose. Does make sense. Pulse now on the AWP as well. Not really commented on that, but he is able to pick up a kill for his team. So 5-on-3 as Endpoint starting to come alive in these past couple of rounds. Going to be difficult. So rotations are coming in. They've got to act quickly. Cement will take down Pulse. Weber kind of whiffing the spray a little bit. Tags him up a fair amount. Luzzer, I believe, through the smoke. Going to pick up that kill, and they line up for Weber as he gets them both. And does manage to win out the round. Should be able to win another one here as well, as it looks like there's a bit of a soft eco coming in from XPC. Be a straight up B rush is what the doctor ordered. Good flash coming in. Blind up a couple of the players. Allows Pulse to pick up 2. A third with the USB. Drops the bomb as well. Gets himself 4, and Weber denies him the ace. But a great round. Some beautiful flicks coming in as well, to be fair, from Pulse. Bodes well going forward. If they've got a double up setup, and both those players, you know, Pulse really come alive in the past couple of rounds and has actually pulled himself up above that 20 mark in terms of frags. You've got 2 AWPs that are firing on all cylinders. It's very difficult indeed to get past that if you're not quite able to break up the crossfires or overwhelm that one AWP player or flash him off of an angle. White AWPers are so influential in this game. Having a good AWPer on your team really does make the difference. Mint trading 1-for-1 with Aaron. Team kill coming in from Torek as he actually finds Aaron. So into a 2-on-2 now is 1-for-1 everywhere. A little bit of help from Torek. He's going to get that bomb down. Playing on the edge of Graveyard is where he's going to go. It's actually White that got the bomb down. I do beg your pardon. Be a 2-on-2 situation. Kits in the hands of both these CT players. White going to get spotted out as he was in a bit of an off-angle. Torek now to keep his team in it. The fake flash from Weber. Not going to fool Torek, but he finds the kill nonetheless. Not quite sure where the bomb is, but he's got plenty of time to defuse it. Endpoint secure themselves. Match point. Can't lose this round if they want to take it in regulation. Take us to our third map, which will of course be Cobblestone. If they do lose this round, obviously it's going to be overtime. And who knows, man, it's C though. I would have thought it's MR6 10k, but who knows, mate? Who knows? That seems to be the general format everyone goes for in overtime now, though. Galil in the hands of Sexy, not really the ideal weapon. Yeah, I think they had the Galil last round as well. Fair amount of smoke's going to try and go for a bit of a execute. Pipson manages to land the smoke this time. There's a slightly smoked out. There's a gap in it though. That smoke's not really great. The one that Endpoint were using on their T side was pretty good. Those are going to pick up the initial frag onto Pipson, so he will pay for his crimes during the poor smoke. Good utility usage so far from the CT side. Luz again a little bit over aggressive here, but it could certainly pay off. He catches Torek with an 8 out. It's looking good to take this second map 16-14. We will be in a 5 versus 3 situation. Bomb looking to make its way towards long. This is interesting, a bit of an aggressive over rotation maybe. Looks like they're just swapping the positioning of the AWP. That will allow Sexy to get aggressive down long. Finds ahead of Mighty Max as well. Aaron's got to hold down the fort here for his team before the rotations come in, but he's not quite able to do so. White will find him into the 3-on-3. Bomb going to get planted with 20 seconds remaining. Smoke goes over towards Moto, blocking out those 2 rotations that have thus come in. And it will be a waiting game for Endpoint as the remaining 3 players have got to find something here. They've got to take this one. Overtime could be a very difficult ask as well. Actually going into that third map, they will have played so much CS. They want to take this one, get it on the board, get it securely in their back pocket so they can take us to the third map. Molotov goes in towards the site. Simmons going to find another kill. Sexy whiffing a little bit, but will take down Pulse. Luzzer now with it all to do and he can't. It's going to be the overtime as White takes him down in a 5 versus 3 situation there. Thrown by Endpoint. XPC take it. 15-15, we will be going to overtime. Jackie with some great banter in the chat. Seems we've got all the UK boys right now. Up and off. Like I said, I mean, I know players by name and by, like, skill, teams, etc., but not personally, as of yet. Okay, it looks like we're getting into it here. It is going to be MR6 10k. So we'll see. Endpoint, a little bit of a quiet CT half to start with. Definitely picked it up towards the end. XPC, kind of the other way round. You know, their CT wasn't great. It was more their T half that they were a little bit quiet on and then picked up towards the end and kept them in it. Will be a double up setup coming in again. We saw Pulse was actually pretty effective with this up. Luz has been kind of that turret all game round. Great banana control, as we are used to seeing from Endpoint. Something that XPC found very difficult was penetrating that B-bomb site early on. They kind of had to go for it later on in the round. Allows Pulse to get aggressive and find White as well. That's going to be the AWP dropped for the T's. And the man advantage secured for Endpoint. Of course, it needs 19 rounds to take the victory. 18-18 will take us to a second overtime. Smoke going out towards long. I mean, they maybe need to change this lineup a little bit. It's been failing them quite often. Weber blocked it around earlier to make sure it didn't go to kind of the full fruition, the full position it needed to go in. Luzzo could even see around it. Seems they're progressively throwing smokes towards long to get more and more control. It's actually a bit of a fake from Torek and Cement. At least on A. Looks like they're going to try and wrap it with one player on the flank. Being very, very quiet in the hands of Torek. He does a hell of a lot of this flanking. So he does. He's got Weber to get past, however. There's only Pulse on the B-bomb site alone. So if he gets overwhelmed and taken down quickly, could certainly be difficult. Luzzer, however, will find Torek. So that information of the round probably going to come in. Pulse here finds one. Able to drop back. Wait for the rotates to come in. Going to get a second as well to drop the bomb. Pixon will take him down. Finds one through the smoke as well with the pre-fire. Hello. Going to be the 1-on-3 situation. Gets the bomb down with about 10 seconds remaining on the clock. He's got his AK and his armor. That's about it. No utility at all. So he's got to find the heads here. Getting aggressive into the room. He has to make something happen. But Aaron will clean up. Take him down. So nice couple of kills coming in from Pipson. But unfortunately, he's the only one to pick up any kills for his team at this point in time. Able to retrieve the second AWP as well. Keep it on board. I mean, it's something that really changed the course, you know, when they were a little bit down and out on the CT side. Endpoint picked up a double up setup, and Cray had like 2 crazy rounds in a row to kind of bring the team back into it. I think the reason why it looks a bit dodgy is GoTV, to be honest. Sometimes it's not quite fast enough to keep up with the flick shots and whatnot, so looks a bit weird sometimes. Up in the hands of White. He's been very quiet with it recently. He had a great game on Train, but here on Inferno it's not been ideal from him. Weber going to do it again. I mean, he needs to communicate this to his team about how effective it actually is. Leaves a huge gap in that side of the smoke. You can also kind of play in front of it quite easily as well. Ooh, Pulse does get one immediately traded back, though. The 1-for-1 trade always going to work out in favour of the T side. Also, though they don't realise that, there was only one player over towards B. Looks like they're going to go back towards A. Lining up a smoke over towards Arch. The execute looks like it is about to come in here. Library blocked off. Torek, of course, always on the lurk, it would seem. 4-on-4 situation. 20 seconds remaining, really close to the wire. All 3 CTs playing on the side right here. Just need to hold it together and deny this bomb plant. Torek on the flank picks up one, but that's all he's going to get. into the 3-on-2 situations. You've got White as well with that ult, not really the ideal weaponry. He does manage to pick up the kill with only 8 seconds remaining here. Got to rush in, try and get the bomb down. Mighty Max will capitalise, pick up the kill. Weber not even needed. He's actually able to save the AWP, so pretty well done by the Endpoint side. Get 17 on the board. 1 round away from securing themselves second overtime. And of course we've still got the second half of the first overtime to go. White as well on the CZ here, as it is only that 10k in the bank. They can't really go wild with their spending in all 3 rounds. Certainly why it seems to be, you know, the general ruling now is to stop that from happening, kind of punish teams for not really controlling their economy very well, and he's demoted, as I say, onto that CZ after buying AWPs for the previous 2 rounds and losing. Simin going to get aggressive, finds Luzzer. That's going to allow the rest of the team to come striking in. There's only 1 on this A bomb site right now, as an aggressive stack from the CTs on B. So Mighty Max is going to go down as well. I'm just going to get planted here. 5 versus 3 retake, final round and a half, so there's not really going to be any inkling of saving for Endpoint. Pulse on the AWP as well, not really ideal on the retake, especially with A having so many kind of close range angles, a lot of crossfires you have to deal with. Only able to fire 1 bullet at a time. It's not really ideal. So I think a lot of this is going to come down to Weber and Aaron with those M4s. Trying to peek up above the smoke. Bomb so far ticked at this point. They can see the boost as well. Sexy takes down the bottom half of it. Not able to find the top as of yet, but eventually Pipson will do so. So a 16-17 half in favour of Endpoint. Certainly had a good go of things on the T side, so definitely doable for them at this point in time. The players raring to go into the second half, so we immediately have 9 players ready, pretty much. So, hope we shouldn't be waiting too much longer. Like I say, 18 to take us to another overtime, 19, or 18 each, 19 to 1 team will secure the victory. Endpoint need 2, XPC need 3. Quick maths. Remains to be seen. White going to go for the AWP, of course. Luzzer going to be the only AWPer on the T side, as you would expect. Be never reliable with it. He's able to get some opening picks for his team. It could really pay off. Endpoint's T side, it was decent earlier on. To start with, they went, I believe, 7-1 up. As are able to find White as well. Good trigger discipline from him again to wait to see that entire body. Makes it a 5-on-4 situation. Very early on indeed. So if they just take it slowly, maybe go for a bit of late banana control. Certainly take it. Yeah, there's a case to be made. Maybe they lost some of the control that they had on that T side for sure. But early on they were doing really, really well, and now realising they can just kind of play off the back of Luzzer. He finds Torek as well. Minute remaining. Huge hole in the defence over towards A means that Pips are going to have to try and rotate towards CT. But ultimately I think it's going to be a B hit here from Endpoint. We do of course have Mighty Max on the mighty flank, so he might be able to cut off some of those rotations. More pressure back towards B and taking a lot of time here, cutting it reasonably close. Trying to fake out towards A, I think, with a smoke over towards long from Weber. So it's at least going to keep Sexy here. Maybe draw in another rotation. They're not quite buying it at this point. Mighty Max making all the noise, but with 20 seconds remaining, they're going to hit this B bomb site. Need to find these players quickly. Get this bomb down quickly. Sexy and Swing going to pick up 2. Pipson as well finds 2 in the smoke, and as well going to take down Weber. Gets 3 in the end. And around, surely Endpoint should have taken, just waiting far too long to get in there. And that's when the panic sets in, when the kind of uncoordinated plays start happening. It's heartbreaking to see. Honestly, is trying to keep my you know, bias and everything non-existent, but you would kind of expect that to change for some of the fans at least. that are here and watching, and even then, just as far as it goes, that should have been around towards Endpoint. They had 2 very early kills from Luzzer. Hell of a lot more control than they realise. Just took far too long. Made a bit of noise, rotates immediately come in, and flank doesn't pay off from Mighty Max. Cement picks up 3. Pips in rather, picks up 3. So difficult. Could have been the second overtime at the very least secured there. We will see, however. They're able to recover. Keep the mental game strong. There's 4 players to deal with here on the A-bomb site from the CT side. Aaron going to get caught with a Molotov out. Not ready for Torek to be in the off angle so up close and personal. Mighty Max does gain pit control. There are 2 players to deal with on the side. One towards long. Trades coming in back and forth, so it's into a 2-on-2. Mighty Max is well aware of the other player being on site. Flank coming in, however, from Pipson. He's going to take down Luzzer, now just on Mighty Max, and he gets taken down. And it will, in fact, the XPC to secure the second overtime first. With a good opportunity here. Oh, that economy is absolutely dire. Could well be a 19-17 for XPC. And a heartbreaking loss, a game that perhaps Endpoint should have taken. They had the lead very early on. Had the lead towards the end as well. It went to overtime where perhaps they could have taken it. And now in overtime when it was 17-15, they should have at least secured that second overtime play, especially with the 5 versus 3 up. Now it's all been flipped on its head. XPC are the ones to get the second overtime first, as I say. With 2 ZZs, a UMP. It is certainly a difficult ask for the Endpoint side now to take us to that second overtime. Perhaps nothing short of a miracle at this point in time. They need no early kills coming in from either side, no early aggression coming in from either side. In all honesty, if you take a look at the minimap, no one wants to be the one to make the mistake. XPC in prime position to take this game. Endpoint have it all to lose. Three to deal with on A, as you would expect. 2 stacked up on short, who've been holding short beautifully. White with York, going to get smoked out, but eventually we'll be able to push through very quickly. In fact, we'll be able to push through. We're all going towards Long, though. He misses his first shot, able to get away with his life. But an A wrap coming in from the team right now. White not yet going down, hits the no-scope as well. Sexy has picked up a kill over towards short to make it doable. Pulse, however, with the Glock will find White eventually, but he's certainly done his work. Only 10 seconds remaining. Means this bomber's got to go down. Now Pulse with his team on his back. He's got to keep them in. Finds out a 1. Can't find the second. Cement will seal it for XPC as they take the 2-0. 19-17 here on Inferno.